like what you said is, the idea is, well, isn't it better for the U.S. to be in the United Nations so that just even theoretically there can be some kind of mechanism to keep them in check? But that's just theory because it's never happened. They've never been kept in check by the United Nations. And the U.S. themselves, they only invoke the United Nations to serve their own purposes, to serve their own agenda against other countries, and they never have it applied to themselves. And they've been very clear that the United States will act multilaterally when they can, but unilaterally when they must, which means you do what you want, basically. Through it being a public call for expulsion, because the politicians in the West, politicians in the United States, both the Republicans and the Democrats, but the Democrats especially, are obsessed with narrative. They're absolutely obsessed with narrative. And if there's a public call for the expulsion of the United States from the UN, it emphasizes the isolation, global isolation of the United States, and how at odds they are with 192 other countries in the world, and completely delegitimizes any claim of international consensus, and it exposes the complete Western domination of international policy. I mean, it's sorry to interrupt, but it's the same, for the last since 1967. It's starkly obvious now because of how drastic and urgent the situation is in Gaza. But the United Nations has a annually they have a vote calling for Israel to respect the 1967 borders annually. So I mean, and every time it goes the exact same way. The United States vetoes, because every time it goes the same way, the international global consensus is yes, they should return to the 1967 borders, and the occupation has to end, and illegal settlements have to end, and so on. Like everything that's in and the establishment of a Palestinian state has to happen. They've been saying that since 1967, every year. And every year it gets shot down. So it's like the very fact of the ongoing problem has been perpetuated by the United States. It's U.S. rejectionism that has kept the problem going for all these years.